Told you my stuff's going slow. Hey, 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 Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, internet. It's your girls, Teddy Ewing, Keisha, Lene Javette. This is the Melanated Air Hour where we talk about things that are happening from the Black perspective. We take the time to breathe in all this Blackness. And today we're having a dope conversation on Black owned businesses. We're going to have a conversation around for us, by us. What does that mean? When for us, by us goes wrong, can you be by us and not for us? That's the conversation that we're having today, and we'll open with really just an understanding of what does for us, by us mean. Um, how should we interpret that? What kind of responsibility does that put on the business owner and or the consumer? And we're going to talk about this advertisement that I saw that I sent to the ladies. It was a business in a box. Uh, it gave the impression that it was for Black people, Black business owners, and the comments said that it was not. So we're going to dive into that. But before we get there, let's talk about what does for us, by us mean. Okay, Teddy, we'll start with you.
Hello, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Teddy Ewing. I'm bringing you information on entrepreneurship, hustle, grind, and financial freedom. So this is kind of in my wheelhouse, but I think the for us, by us has a hard rap, meaning we put too much on it. To me, for us, by us means it is owned B1, right? By own Black business, employs Black employees. I don't necessarily think that means exclusively, but I think it needs to be majority. And it's meant to help the community and fill a hole in the community. And by community, I don't mean the physical place, I mean the Black community and everything about it. So I don't think businesses have to be strictly only advertising to Black customers, but it needs to benefit its Black customers. So that's what it means to me.
All right. Thank you, Miss Keisha.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. My name is Keisha Ravenel. I'm helping new and aspiring t-shirt business owners start their t-shirt business. So I am a for us, by us business, right? I am a Black woman and I help Black business or aspiring and new Black business owners to grow. And I also am a huge mental health advocate. Like I'm all about being healthy mentally, physically, and all of those things. And I'm talking to my Black people. So as Teddy said, it's B1, right? It's Black first. Now that's not to say that I wouldn't help, people from other communities, but my thing is pouring into the Black community financially, mentally, like I said, physically, just helping us to grow. So to me, that's what a for us, by us business is. It's not just, okay, like I'm a Black owned business and I have Black customers. It's also, okay, like Teddy said, what are you doing to help empower the Black community?
Okay. So when we hear from, so me personally, when I think of for us, by us, it's literally everything that you guys said. It's a Black owned company, right? That is for Black people, right? But like Teddy said, it's not only Black people, right? It's a company that is established with Black core values, if you will, right? And you care about the Black community. That to me is the for us part. The by us part just says I'm a Black owned business. I am an owner that is Black, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm for my community. That's the for us piece. I think it's two parts: for us and by us. So when I see a business online, and I'm going to do my best not to throw this business under the bus and try to shame them, but I believe as a Black owned business and a business owner and a person in the community, it's our responsibility to help businesses in our community to level up, right? And so if you see a business that has, to me, the name Black in it, I assume that you are a for us, by us business. The Black Business School, Upscale Noir, the whatever, anything that has Black in it, I am assuming that you are for us, by us. And so when I go to do business with you or buy your product, that is my assumption. Okay. And so when I see an advertisement coming through social media with the name Black in it, and I go to read the comments and I'm seeing that you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not honoring your obligations to your customers, you are not providing service to the product that you give, then I don't feel like you're truly a for us, by us business, right? And I think it's important that we have these conversations in our community, because a lot of businesses get stereotyped or thrown under the bus of quote unquote bad Black owned businesses, when really we can all have great businesses if we follow the for us, by us model. What would you guys say is a business model for a for us, by us type of a company? Is it that we're doing better customer service? Is it that we are fighting against the stereotypes? Is it that we're making sure that our businesses operate at a good level, not necessarily better than anybody else's business, because there's a lot of janky businesses out here, right? So you don't have to be better than somebody else's business, but definitely on par. What do you think are some characteristics of a business that should operate from the perspective of for us, by us?
I think all of the above, Lene, but heavy on the customer service. And that's something that I teach my clients as well. Like, yes, I'm going to teach you how to build your business. I'm going to teach you how to run your business. And we talk about like consistency and confidence and all of that stuff, right? But an important piece is customer service, because you want people to continue coming back. So you're more likely to get a repeat customer than you are a new customer, right? So that customer service is imperative. You have to treat your customers well. Like, I remember it was the beginning of the pandemic, and I do drop shipping. And for those of you who don't know what that is, I don't keep my own inventory of shirts. I have a company send it out for me. You know, they ship it, they process the order, everything. So I didn't have control over their shipping times during the pandemic. So I had customers getting their t-shirts 6 weeks after they ordered, 8 weeks after they ordered. And I'm just like, whoa, like, oh my gosh. And instead of going into panic mode, I did panic for a little bit though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? But I made sure I communicated with my customer every step of the way. So I let them know what the deal was. Like, look, you know, my company, they're sending it out. You know, the communication is key, right? Mm-hmm. And I had customers tell me the reason why I still shop with you was because of that moment. Like, you communicated with me, you made sure, you know, I felt like I felt important, you know, I felt important to you. And just you as a Black business, you know, I want to shop with Black businesses, and I see that you take your business seriously. So I think customer service is a huge, huge piece in a for us, by us business.
Okay.
And I like to agree with that, but I think, especially if you're a solopreneur, like all three of us are, it's hard to scale when you're so focused on pleasing each and every customer at that personal level, right? Mm-hmm. So I think you really need to set up your business model so that it can kind of run itself. So you have a huge FAQ section. You have systems in place to ensure that it's kind of running smoothly. You have a virtual assistant maybe that might be cheaper than hiring a full-time employee that can check the email box and make quick replies, et cetera. Because I think that the for us, by us, we are hard on each other. We are hard on our people. Like, you know, people will snap out. Someone will go to McDonald's and don't get their order, and they don't never not go back to McDonald's again. Yeah. But they order from a Kinky Curly something, and the product wasn't just right, or it didn't work for them, and they kept it for 6 months, and they wouldn't take a refund, and they blast them on social media. They talking dirty to them, and they snapping on the customers, or the people that are behind the counter. And it's like this, there's this elevated level of expectation for us, by us stores. And I don't know why that is. I think we should give the level of customer service that you would give any customer, and that you are used to receiving from the businesses that you patronize, period. And nothing more and nothing less.
So are we saying that although we know that Black-owned businesses have a stereotype, do you think then that if you go into business knowing that that stereotype is there, that you should put the emphasis, put the thought process, put the time and energy into making sure that you don't fall into a stereotypical business?
I think you have to put it out there. I mean, I like social media for that reason. You can put yourself out there. You can have pre-recorded videos stating who you are, what you represent, and maybe how you're unique and how you can differentiate yourself from others.
Mhm.
And keep it real, right? Like if I don't show people who I am, then they may think I'm just like everybody else. So they might get to know me through social media, my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel, some of the courses. They take my courses and they get to like me. They feel like they get to know me. And hopefully, should something happen, like in Keisha's business, where there's a pandemic and the service I was providing is now knocked down a level out of my control, they'll give me grace, right? We don't give each other grace in the community. And I hate to be so generalistic, but it is so true. Like, I think there's like team B1, Black-owned businesses, and there's team I would never because of this, this, and this. I mean, I see it all the time. I'm on moms groups, all kind of stuff in the Black community. And they're like, see, I be trying to support my Black businesses, but this is how they do. And then they repost some bad customer service response, right? And I'm just like, did you give them grace? Did you guys have a conversation? And was it really that bad? I mean, sometimes it is, and sometimes it just ain't. Sometimes it ain't as bad as we make it out to be.
You know what? So when I'm putting anything together, when I'm putting a process together, when I'm putting a product together, when I'm putting a launch together, when I'm putting a course together, I literally go through the whole process in my head. And for me, my business is based on Black people. I elevate, I upscale, I support, I create strategies for Black-owned businesses. Like my whole business is built on Black people. And so for me, every piece of it, I feel like it has to be not perfect, but excellent, because I want Black excellence to be all through my business. So I do think about everything from a Black perspective. How is that going to impact somebody? Are they going to feel that that they got what they paid for? Is the customer service going to be well? Is this product going to work? Are they going to get the results that I say they're going to get? If something goes wrong, how am I going to fix it? Do I have a help desk? Do I have customer support? Like I think every little intricate detail through, specifically because I do it for Black people, but not because I don't want to be a stereotypical Black-owned business, but because I want to make sure that Black people have an excellent experience. I don't want for people to feel like my business operates like anybody else's business. I want people to come to my business because they know that they're going to get top-notch customer service, that I think that because you are Black, you should get the best experience. And so I go above and beyond specifically because it's for Black people. However, if you come across a business that does not do that, I do think exactly what you said, Teddy, is important, because we do have to, I have this philosophy on Black-owned businesses that a lot of times we are the first person to have a business in our family. We're the first person to venture out into entrepreneurship. The same way there are family members that are the first to go to college. And a lot of times when you're the first, you have to make mistakes. You have to bump your head. You have to figure out how to do things on your own. And as Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs, we can't go into the bank and get capital. We're self-funding, we're bootstrapping. And so there's a lot of turmoil that comes with being a Black-owned business. The other thing that we do is we don't properly hire, right? So let's say you go into a restaurant and you want to get food, because a lot of times you see a lot of bad service at restaurants, unfortunately, and you want to get some food. Well, what happens is somebody's niece is working the register because they would rather pay their niece cash money to save a little bit of money, right? So you're paying your niece cash money. She doesn't want to be there. So she has a bad attitude, which now leads to bad customer service. When in reality, if you had paid a single mom who needs to be there, would be kind and nice to your employees, you may have to pay taxes on that money and you may have to put her down as an employee, but the customer experience would be better. People would come back. Like there's just things, there's reasons behind why we have to have grace with each other. Our businesses don't get up and running as quickly and as fast, or even as efficient as other businesses. And that grace that we should show each other should be in that. And the last point I'll say is also telling people when they don't do well in business. Yes. Like I think what you just said, it's one thing to come to social media and blast somebody, but if you take a minute to talk to a business owner or say, hey, this is where you probably could have did a little something different, or I'll definitely come back if you do this. But a lot of times we don't. We'll leave that business and tell somebody else and not the owner. So the owner can't take accountability. They can't fix it. They can't do better. So grace comes in so many different facets when we're talking about businesses in our community. Keisha, did you want to say something or add something to that?
Yeah, I was just going to add to what Teddy said earlier about letting your customer get to know you, allowing your customer to get to know you. That is extremely important. And that does, give you a certain level of grace with them when they do know you. And people typically purchase from you when they know you, they like you, and they trust you, right? So you should be showing up, on social media. You should be, emailing them, have an email list or whatever it is, however you need your customer or potential customer to get to know you. That is important.
Absolutely. So did you want to say something, Teddy?
I was just going to kind of circle back. I see some people coming in the chat, so I wanted to kind of refresh the conversation, saying we're talking about for us, but not necessarily by us. And what does Black-owned businesses mean to you? I see some comments in there, so welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. I see that people want to support Black businesses, and I think we all want to support Black businesses. And I saw a comment where it says some Black people. This is from Fred. Some Black people is just bad for business. Point blank, period. But you know what? I mean, some people, and this is where we got to get to, y'all. Some people are just bad for business, and some businesses are bad. But as Lene perfectly said, we don't have the generational experiences that some families do. The Macy's, the Marriotts, the Hiltons, that is generations of business ownership. The Fords, that is generations. So when we're coming into this fresh, as you may be the first person owning any business in your family, or any I don't want to say legitimate as if like being a landscaper off the books is not a legitimate business. But I mean, you have an EIN number, you're paying the taxes, you're hiring employees, paying them through payroll services, right? So if you're the first business doing that, you are learning on the fly. You are taking courses like that Lene may have, or Keisha may have, or that I may have. You are watching YouTube videos. You are watching Facebook. You're watching Dr. Watkins and getting in the Black Business School. And you're trying to figure out how to do this thing. And you're usually doing it by yourself because it's hard to get support from others financially, emotionally, spiritually. Like nobody wants to feed into you what you need to grow and say, hey, honey, I know you're a single mom. Let me take your kids for the weekend so you can do your website. Hey, honey, let me take these thing off your hand. You don't have to cook dinner this week because I know you're trying to blow your business up, So I have that support, thank goodness, and my husband lets me helps me record my YouTube videos and do this for y'all at least twice a week and write my blogs and all of that. So I have a support system, but it's kind of small. So we have to lend grace. We have to stop being so hard on each other. And the post that we're really talking about, this business that is definitely probably not for us, even though it's representing itself that way, and definitely not by us. We have to hold them accountable. And when you're doing your own research, as I talk about in cryptocurrency all the time, do your research. If you see a lot of negative comments, and you don't see a reply by that company, you need to halt. That is a red light, turn around, stop. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. So then that's when you turn around, because that's when that customer service piece comes in, when you've given them an opportunity to reply and then they don't reply. But if y'all ain't giving these businesses an opportunity to do better, because they may not know better, Maya Angelou says, when you know better, do better. If they don't know better, you're not helping them, then how can you hold them accountable?
Yes.
And this, I feel like people from other communities, they see Black business as a trend. So they want to get in on, the goods, right? So that's why they throw Black business in there, because they see Black business. They know that people want to support Black business. And they're like, ooh, we can get people this way, So you have to be very, very careful when partnering, when doing business with these companies that say Black business, or even these social media pages, because I remember I was looking for an influencer page. This was maybe earlier this year, last year. And it said promoting Black owned businesses. So I was like, oh, dope. It's a page. They promoting Black owned business. Let me see if I can get my t-shirt on there. So I'm looking through the page and there's no Black people. There's pictures of Black businesses, but the comments they weren't Black people. The likes weren't Black people. So then I'm like, well, who's following this page? And the followers weren't Black people. So I'm like, whoa, so looks can be very deceiving. So you have to be very, very careful when you are doing business. You have to do your research.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so to go back to that post, the advertisement was for a business that you basically can get out of a box, right? And one of the things we were talking about behind the scenes is that's not even legit. Like, that's not even real. There's no such thing as a business in a box.
Right.
The website was really nice. The concept was dope. Like, I'm not taking anything away from the concept. Like, if Black people really could find a way to get a business in a box, it would be amazing. The downside would be you would need to have marketing in a box, expertise in a box, knowledge in a box, audience in a box, social media content in a box. Like, it would have to, all that stuff would have to come out of it, because if somebody just literally handed you a business and was like, bada boom, bada bing, here you go run it, you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But to use that and throw the word Black in front of it, knowing how excited and resilient we are as a community, and the desire for a lot of people to be an entrepreneur and have their own business, it lacks integrity. It hurt my feelings when I saw it, only because I know how, and I'm not using desperate in a negative way. And I don't know how to make it more positive, but I know that most people are desperate to have more money, higher income, an additional revenue stream, the ability to build a legacy or an empire for their family. And they're willing to make the investment to do what it takes to do it. So if you're out here playing with people's emotions, I have a problem with that. And I have an even bigger problem if you put Black in it, because now I feel like you're literally a predator going after people in my community, selling them false hope. So I definitely want to make sure that you guys know and understand, just because something either is or looks like it's for us and it's by us, that doesn't mean that they go together. It might be by us and it might not be for us. It might be for us and it might not be by us. Like, you got to
do we give more grace as a community to, one of the comments made me ask this question: do we give more grace to non-Black owned businesses than we give to Black owned businesses?
Oh, we absolutely give more grace.
Overall, yes, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
And why is that?
We walk into our businesses. Like, when you walk into McDonald's, you have no rhyme or reason, good or bad. You literally are walking into that business to get your Happy Meal and you're walking out. When you step into a Black owned business, you are already thinking that your service is not going to be great. So anything that business does, it's like I knew it type of a situation. We don't walk into our businesses with an even keel playing field. We don't walk into our Black owned businesses automatically giving them the doubt. We walk in there a lot of times already on the offense, on the defense. Like, we're already walking in there thinking that something is going to go wrong. So any little thing is like, see, that's why, or I told you, or I knew. We don't walk in with grace. We don't walk in wanting to be understanding. We don't walk in giving them the same ability and error measurement that we do with other businesses.
Right. And it was LaShonda's comment that made me say that, because she was saying she's dealing with a situation with a non-Black owned business. It's two up. And the customer service wasn't great. So it's not exclusive to Black businesses. And of course, I've had bad business experience with all kinds of business. So that's just, I think if we can pull anything from this, it's just stop going in there with that expectation. And as Black business owners, we do have to do better. I think I heard Dr. Claude Anderson saying, part of his Powernomics book and his theory is that Black business owners have to provide provide products at a cost that the Black community can afford. And we need to make sure that our customer service and the products we provide are at least as good, if not better, than our competitors. And the Black patrons of our business need to patronize us no matter what. And we just hold the business owner accountable. So if they're not meeting standards, you still patronize them and you say, you will meet standards or else, right? So you're giving them an opportunity to improve. And that's where we need to go, because there are a lot of communities who have businesses that have that exact mentality. They would do business within their community only because it's in their community, and they will not leave their community to go do business with someone else. So they're going to let that Black dollar bounce around their community, inside their community, no matter what. And until we get to that place, I think we're going to always struggle.
Yeah, I have just two comments. So one about us like giving other businesses more grace. I also think that stems from like popularity, right? So it's like with McDonald's, it's been around for, decades. So it's just like, oh yeah, I can give them grace. And I'm not saying that's right. I feel like if you are a Black person and you're shopping with a Black owned business, I feel like you should give them grace. But I do think that part of it could be, okay, like this is McDonald's. This is that one time, when I was younger, that never happened to me, but this is this one time that's happening to me, or like a Target or something like that. I don't know if we would have the same grace for, like, let's say LaShonda with the luxury brand, that we don't really know. So I don't know, I'm saying, like, that's just something that I thought of. And then another thing is, as Black business owners, we also have to hold ourselves accountable, right? So I see often, and me and my best friend, we were having this conversation one time, and she said, I hate when I see like people saying like, oh, Black people don't support Black businesses. And she said, I see a lot of Black people supporting Black businesses. So maybe it's your particular business that they're not supporting, but why is that? Is it that, your product is not good? Is it that your website is not set up correctly so people want to shop, but they can't? Like, I feel like you also, like Lene said, you go through every single step when you want to launch something, whenever you're doing something, to make sure this is going to be beneficial for, your community. So you can't just be putting stuff out there willy-nilly, like, oh yeah, I'm a Black business, but your product isn't good, but your service isn't good. Like, you have to make sure that you are, doing the right thing when it comes to your business and your people.
Yes, I say that all the time. I love and support Black owned businesses, and I think that we all should. Not one because it's Black, but not just because it's Black. Like, you don't get my business just because you're Black. Like, I'm gonna support you. Maybe something's not right. Okay, cool. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna come back again. I'm gonna let you know. Okay, they improved. We good. I come back, it's not right. I'm gonna give you a third time. If I come back a third time and it hasn't improved, I've done my part. Right? But I will then find another Black owned business to support that does that same thing. I don't then say, oh, well, I'm done. I'm going to go take my business somewhere else. But it is important that we say that, because there's a lot of businesses that want to get by on strictly, I'm a Black owned business, support my business. But you got to earn this business still. Like, just because you're Black doesn't mean you get my dollar. Right. I'm going to support you. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to give you feedback. I'm going to do all the things that I can do. But if you don't get it, then I will take my money someplace else. But what I will do is take it someplace else to another Black owned business. Yeah. And that's sometimes where we fall. We'll say, well, you know what? I tried it. I'm good. I'm going to go someplace else. Well, there's more than one Black owned business that does that thing. Try another one. Find the business that can offer you that. But as owners, we do have to operate from integrity as well. Like, it's that is on us as well, to make sure that we deliver a product, a service that's worth supporting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Belinda, I think it's Belinda. Belinda says, are y'all talking about the commercial I saw on television where the white man says he wants to invest in Black owned businesses? I was surprised by the commercial. I have not seen that.
I haven't either. Tell us more, Belinda.
I have not seen that. But yes, so I think as LaShawn said, being intentional about supporting Black businesses, and I believe in giving grace and loving feedback. Absolutely. It's super important that we operate from that perspective.
And honestly, as a business owner, a Black business owner, I don't want someone shopping with me just because I'm a Black business. I want you to love my product, right? I want you to love my t-shirt. I want my t-shirt, my hoodie, my hat, whatever it is. I want it to mean something to you, because I want you to wear it. I don't want you to just buy it and then throw it in the back of your closet. No, like I created my shirts to uplift, to empower the Black community. So it's not just, oh, I created it to be a Black owned business. So I want you shopping with me because you believe in the message behind my business, as well as coaching. Like, if I'm not the coach for you, like, I don't want you to just just work with me because I'm a coach. Like, I want us to have that connection. I want us to have that chemistry. And I worked with a client that said, I've been watching you since January and I wanted to work with you, but I didn't know. And I said, you did the right thing. You did the right thing by binge watching my content, by asking me questions. Like, you shouldn't have just jumped into it if you weren't sure. I would much rather you get to know me and then make a decision, make a well-informed decision, than to just jump in and say, okay, I want to do this, and then find out that I wasn't for you.
Absolutely. It's definitely important to do your research on any business that you're thinking about. Pardon my language. This is the Dr. Boy statement, getting in bed with. Do your research on any business that you're thinking about, doing business with, partnering with, giving your money to. Take the time to look at them. How do they roll on social media? What do their customers say about them? Do they get back to you in a timely manner? There's all these different variables and things that are happening in the world on the internet that will tell you whether or not a business is good to do business with. Any other comments around the room, the one you want to talk about with regards to business modeling from the perspective of for us, by us? Are there any tips that you might be able to give to somebody that's starting a business so that they can get off of the ground in a more productive manner so that they don't have to fall victim to the stereotypes of ownership?
I definitely think, and ladies, my videos, if my voice cuts out, let me know and I'll try to restart. I have to drop off. But I definitely think you need to invest in yourself. Keisha made that comment a couple of shows ago. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. And that means getting the knowledge, however you have to get it. And it may be easiest to buy a course and to watch that person you're trying to learn from on their free content to see if they're really going to give you that step by step. I'm a step-by-step person. And if you're going to gloss over it and not give me the detail, then I don't want to spend my money with you. But if you're giving me step by step on your free content, I can only imagine the wealth of knowledge you're giving me in your paid content. And paid content is probably going to get you jump started where you need to be. And you need to have mentors in your life that are doing the thing you want to do. You need to, and if you don't know them and you see somebody doing something you want to do, reach out to them and say, hey, can you help show me what you do? Can I shadow you? Can you teach me what you know? You may not get the yes, right? Hopefully you do. But if you don't, then go to the next person. And you need to kind of mirror and mimic who you're trying to become so that you can watch them and they can talk to you and tell you the pitfalls of business ownership. And there are tons. I'm learning every day that I didn't know something the day before. So it's a constant learning environment. You just got to keep going, but you have to keep learning, and then you got to do it. Stop talking about it, stop planning it, plotting it, start doing it. Just start doing it, see where you go, because you won't get anywhere if you take that first step.
Yeah. That first step is crucial. Go ahead, Keisha.
Yeah, I just want to comment on what Teddy said, making that first step. And it's like tomorrow sometimes or most times becomes tomorrow again, right? So don't say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, because then it's going to be, I'll do it tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. It's like, do it now. But I did want to mention about the handing the business over, because I have a business model and that's one of my services where I create your t-shirt business for you. And it's for the person that wants to do this business, but they don't really have the time to start it. They don't have the time to set up their website, to set up the design and get the design and like all of that stuff that it takes to start the business, right? But as a Black business that is for us, by us, I don't work with everyone. So this company, it seems like, oh yeah, they're giving it to everyone. I'm not going to just hand something over to you just because you say you want a business. I have to know that you're serious about this. I have to know that when I hand it to you and I teach you how to market it, how to launch it, that you're going to be serious about taking those steps. I have to know that there is a purpose behind you wanting to start your business. So just be very careful, as we said, throughout the entire show, with businesses marketing, certain things to you. Like I said, and as we said, again, do your research. It is important to do your research. Look at these business owners on YouTube. They have videos on YouTube. They have content on Instagram and Facebook. Join their free groups. one thing I feel like about a lot of great business owners, they have their free content, right? That you can watch to get to know them. And then they have the stuff in the middle where it's not so expensive, and then the more expensive stuff. So yes, like get to know them. And I can't emphasize enough to do your research.
Yes, that research piece is super important. And I want to kind of circle back to something that I said because Keisha made a good point. There are a very small few businesses that you can get quote unquote in a box, right? Or that have been created for you. And a service like hers, where she sits down with you and actually does it. What are your requirements? What are your needs? What do you want? And then goes and creates that for you. That's customized. So it's kind of a business in a box, but not really. It's a customized business plan that somebody then goes and executes for you. Okay.
Right.
So it's not, I'm going to create this thing, I'm going to send it to you and you figure it out. It's, tell me what you need. Another model, and it's not my favorite business model, but it is out there, is what do they call this thing? It's oh God, multi-level marketing. Yeah, multi-level marketing. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I have seen, I know the tea is out there. I know the vacation thing is out there. And I know people that do make money on it. So I try not to poo-poo on stuff just because it's not my favorite. But it is an opportunity. It is another revenue stream for people that do that. And it does come with support. It does come with marketing and background. The people who I have seen have major success in those types of things are people who are now this way. Now, when I use the word desperate, I am using it in a more desperation, right? Their husband just passed away. They don't have any work skills. This is the only thing that they had. And so they worked it like it was all they had. Those people, they become successful. Those are the people that you see that make millions of dollars because they don't feel like they have a plan B. There's not a way. So there is some success there if that's something that you're good at. That is probably the closest thing that I might say is a business in a box, because it's a process and it's an infrastructure that's already created for you. You literally come in, give them your $500 and they say, here, you have a business, and then you go out and work it. Now, again, that's the closest thing to a business in a box. I don't agree that there is quote unquote a such thing as a business in a box. There's variations to it. There is, I will sit down with you, tell me what you want, I'll go create it for you. Customization. There is the multi-level marketing. We technically have a business, but for $50, we'll give you the tools and necessary skills that you need to go and promote it and then build your team. And then there is good old school, just building your business from the ground up. Now, there's white labeling, there's courses, there's all different, there's so many different ways to have a business and to do a business. At the end of the day, if you are creating a business as a Black business owner and you say that you are for us, by us, the thing is you just want to make sure that you operate that business with us in mind. If you are creating a business that is for us and you want to represent yourself as being biased, just make sure that you treat us right. Just make sure that your business has us in mind. Just make sure that you are creating products and service and opportunities and knowledge that's really going to be for us and make us better. That would be the only thing that I would request and ask of a Black business owner. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to add before we close out for the day?
I did want to say that to the MLM, the multi-level marketing, in my opinion, if you're going to hustle hard as you're going to have to hustle, even in a business in a box MLM, you would have gotten that same success with the business in a box, or you would have gotten that same success with Keisha's t-shirt store handed to you, because it still takes that hustle. It still takes that grind, because you have to make all these contacts. You got to wear folks out. You have to be the brand and wear the brand and sell the brand and be the brand all day long. So you alienate 100% of your associates and half of your friends trying to do this MLM. And you could have done that doing almost anything. If you got that hustle in you, you're going to make it happen. And one of the topics that we're going to talk about, let us know if you're interested. One of the topics we're going to talk about is the OnlyFans and the business model behind the OnlyFans owners, I guess. I don't know what their sponsors, or I don't know what they are, but because they have that hustle, they have that grind, and they're willing to do things that most aren't. So is that sustainable? And what does that mean for their business future? But people like that are willing to go that extra mile are going to get results that the average person who's not willing to do that are. So I'm gonna stick a pin in that, and we will talk about that probably on the next show. The OnlyFans business model, is it sustainable?
And I would love for us to talk about the MLM too, because I have some thoughts and opinions on that. So not today, but another show.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. I love it. I love it. Thank you for everybody that has tuned in today to the Melanated Air Hour, where we breathe in the Black experience. We communicate, we talk about it, we look at things that are happening in the world, and we look at it from a business perspective, because there's something that we can learn. There's ways that we can grow, and we do it from different perspectives, either be it myself, Teddy, Keisha, Faye, or Madam President. We want to have these conversations. We want to have be able to provide knowledge and talk about things that that people aren't talking about in other places. Like, this is our space to have this type of dialogue. Thank you so much, LaShonda. She said it was a great talk. Thank you at Urban Recluse, who said great dialogue. Thank you, Belinda. Girl, you got in here and had a good conversation today. She said ladies are having a great conversation. If you feel that way, please make sure that you tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, or you watch the rebroadcast, that you share it, that you like it, that you comment. We thank you. We appreciate you. Another way to show your support is to definitely go and like each one of our social media pages on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. You see our handles there in with our names. And we hope to see you guys. Hey, Mika, I see you, Chica.
I was just
let's not forget. Oh my goodness.
Lene, a birthday shout out.
Yes, birthday shout out. Happy birthday, Lene.
Happy birthday. Many blessings to you, Lene.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here with me today on my birthday. I appreciate that I get to share it with you guys, doing what I love to do, which is just love on the community. So I appreciate you all. Brady said, keep inspiring us. Bandile or Bandil. I apologize if I'm completely butchering your name, but I appreciate you, King. Thank you so much, Lee Lovin' Me Coco. What's up, girl? How you doing? All right, y'all. I will holler at you guys later. We will see you on Thursday. Tune in for the OnlyFans conversation, because I know this is about to be a good conversation, and I got volume to drops on that day with that conversation. It's gonna be good. So tune in. See you guys on Thursday, same time, same place. Peace.
See you Thursday.
Bye.